Good afternoon and welcome live to Uyo, Nigeria for a match described as the African Classico. Football heavyweights Nigeria and Cameroon, stuffed full of millionaire football players from 4 continents and 20 different countries, are about to go head-to-head twice in a matter of days in meetings which will determine who is potentially going to Russia in 2018. Well, let's get a quick look at the table before the anthems come up. Nigeria heading that with 6 points from 2 games. In fact, I think we are going to go straight into those anthems first. We'll check that table in just a few minutes. We will, though, have the national anthems of Nigeria and Cameroon.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, we have the President of Nigeria Football Federation, the President, the Chairman of the Senate Committee on Sports.
We're actually getting introduced to some of the dignitaries that are down at pitch side. And I think we are just about ready to get those national anthems. Oh, there we are. So let's have a quick let's have a look at the table then. Nigeria head that group 6 points in 2 games. Cameroon 4 behind after 2 draws. Zambia and Algeria on a point each. 12 points left to play for, and it'll all be wrapped up on November the 6th with the group winner qualifying for next summer's finals, and that is it. No second place, just the winner. But what a year of contrast so it's been for these 2 nations, with Cameroon winning AFCON back in February. Despite results in Confederations Cup later on in the year, there was plenty for Bruce to be happy with. As for Nigeria, there was no Nations Cup this year, and there have been defeats against South Africa and Benin. This, though, is all about the now. The big names are back, and it's been quoted they're going to be needing to play over the next 4 days the games of their lives to win both. But legends like Amaniki, who've been talking on the eve of this game, saying glory is attainable. Efan Okoku is alongside me. Is glory going to be attainable here today?
Just about, I think. You know, Nigeria's can take a firm stranglehold on the group, with the other 2 in the group right now, Zambia and Algeria on 1 point. You'd imagine they'll be scrapping to finish best of the rest. And second, you know, is the absolute best, I would think. Nigeria need to put up a fantastic performance. If they do, I think they can break the spirits of the indomitable Lions. I don't think they'll be able to recover from that on Monday. Nigeria would go across the border, very short hop from here. We're full of confidence, a real belief that, you know, they've got their tickets booked for the plane to Russia.
Let's not forget, by the way, that Nigeria have played under half the games that Cameroon have played this year. Cameroon 13-14 games to 6 being played by Nigeria.
I don't think that makes a difference, really. You know, the players are back in pre-season training now. You know, fully fit. You know, revived after quite a few weeks off and fresh. Played a few league matches, almost all of them. So they should be feeling really good about themselves. And I think I think players are grateful of that rest. So I don't think there's any advantage to playing more games.
And now then, the national anthems. They stunned the continent of Africa by winning the Nations Cup. And there's huge belief in this team of Bruce's that they can go on to the World Cup glory as well. Great atmosphere, as you can see. Operation Cameroon Must Fall is in full swing here. Well, let's get a check then on the two lineups here today, beginning first with Nigeria. And after missing key names for the defeat by South Africa, the great and the good are back. The two first choices in goal, though, unavailable. Zemwa, the 28-year-old, making only a 9th appearance today. Elsewhere, Mikel Obi is back in midfield. Victor Moses returns. No, it won't be up front. Iheanacho's only going to start on the bench today. Igalo's return to form in China means he is being rewarded with a place in the starting lineup. But both of these nations have got questions to answer as far as their media and fans are concerned about the number of goals that are potentially in these teams. As for Cameroon here, virtually the team we expected. A couple of minor alterations. Liuko replaces Mabuka at right back. Nagamaleo is in for the Zoom in midfield. Those the only two changes from the team who were beaten by Germany in the Confederations Cup earlier on this year. Well, as for who's expecting what here, Yona Rua, the technical advisor, or the technical director of the Nigerian team, is saying that on paper Cameroon are a better team, but he strongly believes that with the home backing that they've got here, his team have got what it takes to win. A lot of talk, Efren, about the venue that they're playing in, and some people say, listen, it's about time we got out of here because results haven't been good here.
Yes, there can be that little bit of superstition and fear when you've not played well at a particular venue. I always feel, the players just have to find a way through that, have to fight through it, overcome their insecurities, if you like. And if you feel like you've got, good enough players against the opposition, it's a matchup, and then I don't think those superstitions hold too much weight, to be honest. As I said, up to the players to work their way around it and win. Once you win a few games, and then people will forget what's gone on in the past.
Well, he did give reasons actually for picking this particular venue here, which is the venue of choice now. One is because he said the playing surface here is the best in Nigeria. Quite simple. It looks as if it's cutting up a bit from what we can see here.
Yeah, we've had some rain as well.
Yeah, which is also going to just affect things. Hugo Bruce, who came out of nowhere, took this job when he saw it advertised on the internet, decided to actually go online and apply. He did. And a nation is forever grateful that he took the time. Just imagine if he'd gone out for a Starbucks in the afternoon before he filled it out and missed it.
That's called fate, isn't it, Tim? One thing I will say about, playing football at the stadium, there's a great atmosphere that's generated. Games at the National Stadium in Abuja, can be a little bit soulless as well. If the team's not playing well, fans don't particularly get engaged, it's not always sold out. But in this region of the country where football is, it's a real hotbed in terms of producing footballers over many decades, and then we tend to get a very good atmosphere.
Very true, and that was the second reason that he gave, and we are underway then here on what is a big day for Nigeria. Missed out on the Nations Cup. Their World Cup record is very good, much better indeed actually than Cameroon. They did, of course, to the last 16, which on a number of occasions, which is something Cameroon can't match. And in terms of meetings between these two nations, Nigeria do hold the upper hand. Last time Cameroon actually won a game in regulation time against Nigeria. You've got to go back to the 27th of August of 1989. It was a World Cup qualifier then, and they won by 1-0. They do pick their moments, as those of you who are seasoned watchers of the African game will tell you. Whenever it comes to Nations Cup time, that was a very poor header. Tell you what, Balogun just let it glance off his shoulder. He certainly wasn't aware of any movement behind him, and Nagamaleo very nearly stole it.
A few early moment nerves.
Interesting to see how Igalo does. Hasn't got a great goal-scoring reputation with the national team. He's somebody that's always promised to deliver, but it's never quite worked out that way. Nicely laid on ball, that is, and the cross in the end from Liuka, not quite good enough.
One of the problems, Tim, being a striker for the national team in Nigeria is that there are always so many options. You know, you have one or two mediocre games and there's a clamour from the press and fans, you know, to replace you. There's always a good alternative, and you don't get too much time actually to play your way, build yourself into the role.
Well, they've had real problems in terms of goalkeepers, haven't they? The much publicised illnesses, and Ikeme, who's recovering, we believe. And Enyama, who they were talking about bringing back into the fold, he's not recovered in time from injury either, so it's a lot of inexperience there. Ogadeu, who was the best defender at the Nations Cup earlier on this year, and actually managed to get on the score sheet more times than Abubakar. Well, Bazagog has gone down, taken a bit of a bang then. Moved after the Nations Cup from Denmark. Another of the players who's and riches in China. As a truce ball.
I believe there's a very good reason, actually, Tim, why Nigeria's got a much better record against Cameroon in the last 10 or 15 years. This used to be a very physical contest throughout the late 70s, 80s, in particular late 80s, up until the early 90s. Nigeria used to play with a lot of force against Cameroon, who could always match the Super Eagles and always had a little bit more guile and patience as well, and especially in the final third of the field. So Cameroon always felt as if, you know, they had Nigeria's number in big tournaments, in the Cup of Nations especially. That changed in the mid-90s. Nigeria had a group of players that were able to have the skill level. There was good depth as well, and as a result, you know, the style of Nigerian football altered, and I think that's been one of the key reasons why the Super Eagles have mastered the Lions in recent times.
This is Anguissa.
The brawn doesn't always work when you're playing against athletes as physically strong as you, so there's that turnaround has enabled Nigeria to sort of take charge, if you like.
It's important to talk about the referees in these occasions. Gihag Grisha of Egypt and Baba Gazama of Gambia are those in charge today. That's Anguissa. I think he got a bit lucky then. Dipping volley in the end from Nagamaleo.
He struck that well enough, didn't he? Elderton at Chijile thought about trying to intercept with the head. It was a good job he didn't, actually, because it would have given Galemo just that little bit more time. Just tried to lob that over. A bit of pace onto it. Didn't try and hit the ball too hard.
Cameroon ball it is. Chijile getting his foot in. All over the field in these early stages is the number 3, Anguissa, as Igalo putting himself about. Only scored 3 goals for the national team. One of those was against Cameroon last time they met a couple of years ago. A 3-0 victory back in October 2015. It's only a friendly international. As Bazagog was certainly more used to seeing on the opposite side of the field than the one he's playing on here. Given time for Anguissa to turn. Might take a pot shot here, Anguissa. This is Obi Mikel, 5th most capped player of all time for the Super Eagles, is John Obi Mikel. It wasn't he that was thrilling the fans on the eve of this fixture. It was what the potential was with Victor Moses in the starting lineup. 70% of those that were given the or asked the question said Moses was the guy to help them win the game here today.
Yes, both very different players. Moses is the one of the game breakers. A little bit more freedom when he's playing for the national side as opposed to his Chelsea role in the last season, in particular as wing back. He'll be on the right side, but he will come in field.
I think he probably enjoys this a bit more.
Most definitely.
Given away to Anguissa. Seeing a lot of the ball, as we said. Abubakar waiting on the edge of the penalty area.
Attacking players by nature, Tim, don't want to do too much defending. If they can get away with doing nothing, they'll be quite happy. Of course, there'll be gaps you'll have to fill defensively when Cameroon have the ball, and they've seen a fair bit of it as well, the line so far. The defensive line for Nigeria has been a little bit too cautious. They've stood off, they've actually dropped back off a little bit. There's been no pressure on the ball. They've probably not felt they've had the opportunity to actually push up and try and play offside, try and play a high line.
Test then coming for this keeper here is Zenwa. Used to delivering against the odds. We're doing it right the way up for the minutes before the end of that final against Egypt when they won the Nations Cup. That looks as if it might have gone too deep there. Keeper comes and makes a good claim. There was the ball wasn't out of play. It was well kept in.
That ball was in. Abubakar was punting, hoping someone would drop. Always likely to get penalised in that situation.
He's a player they've got to keep firm eyes on from those positions. As we said, it was twice on the score sheet from set plays in the Nations Cup. Well, they give away another free kick here.
No, Mikel's not really making any attempt to play the ball.
Having a bit of explaining to do then.
Referee seems to be enjoying himself. A little light-hearted at the moment.
Kanjo once linked with Liverpool a few years ago. Certainly the man of the match in that final against Egypt back in February. They go very deep yet again, and under pressure once again was Juste Ekong, and Obi Mikel back there getting involved as well.
When you're deep like that, Tim, it's so difficult for the goalkeeper to come through and punch any ball. Sometimes got to clamber over his own teammates, their jerseys.
So Tekeyu also in there with Nagadri. And there's Zenwa. At least he's got two on the line there as well. Tempted to move for it, and he might spring to claim, which he does. The marking wasn't brilliant, and if it's not Nagadri, it's Tekeyu, one or the other, that's been meeting these every time they've found a good delivery.
They're coming together with him and actually Ogala, who was on the way back there defending.
As Ndidi got the upper hand at the moment, Cameroon. Moses unable to bring it under control. It'll be Abdullahi's throw. Abdullahi again. Here's Anguissa.
This doesn't need to be too much of an open game from Nigeria's point of view, though. At the moment, they're looking a little bit anxious, and a little bit over-eager to actually get the ball forward to Igalo quite early. I wouldn't say super quick, he's certainly a strong runner, especially with the ball close to his feet. But he still likes that service to be short into him so he can maneuver himself around people. He moves really well inside the box. Igalo has got great awareness.
Basagol did well there, did brilliantly. Ekong, then just having to get it downfield, fairly aimless. Ondoa is another one who's little actual playing experience with clubs. Was at Barcelona from the age of 13. Never really made any headway there. He's been with Sevilla Atletico, but only made 2 appearances for them last season, and he was sent off in the second one of those. It's Liuko. And again. Broken up by Ndidi. Trusecon, Igalo going through the middle. This is Moses now, chance to run at Liuko. He is very quick, Liuko. Moses holding it up, looking for a bit of support to arrive. And it all breaks down with Anguissa's interception here. Basagol brings it away again. It's a good bit of play by Basagol. He's got 2 or 3 options in front of him, but he just held on to it for too long. But again, the support wasn't very quick in getting up there to help him out. There was potential in that move. What did the referee see here?
He did see it. Igalo was asking what the referee saw. He did. He pointed for a free kick.
Well, they have shaken things up a bit out here on the pitch, Cameroon, with Liuko starting as a left full-back here today. And Basagog operating on the left side of midfield as opposed to the right. But maybe set plays could be somewhere Nigeria could profit. Gedri is in there, Ondoa tempted to come for it, not a great punch by him, but it does just enough to get it away.
That's good cover from Victor Moses. All the way back to prevent the breakaway. And just that little bit bitty at the moment, I feel, Tim. It's both sides probably a little bit anxious as well. Not wanting to just sit and allow the others to get into the tempo for obvious reasons.
Leading to Abdullahi. Lovely ball to pick out Moses again. Shows too much of it to Liuko. If he turns and gets the ball in, there's only Obi Mikel there for Nigeria. Chile into Victor Moses, and cheer goes up every time Victor Moses gets anywhere near the ball. There's Ndidi. It's Balogun. Looking for Moses again. Igalo is down there, gives away the free kick though.
That's a favourite move of Igalo, just to lean himself ease himself into one of the central defenders and turn him inside the box. I've seen him do that so many times. It's a great ability just to turn people with or without the ball. Get away with that one.
Well, they've got a full house here. They're expecting 45,000 in Yaoundé at the Omnisport Stadium, where they've rigged up a couple of big screens there for the fans to get a watch. As Abubakar, who was also on the radar of Leicester City about a year ago. In the end, they didn't end up getting him, and he ended up going off to Besiktas. It was a bizarre loan, really. It's not that he wasn't a success, it was because as soon as he left Porto, the goals began to dry up. So Porto, architects of their own downfall there. Is Nagamaleu.
Yeah, that was a surprising one for me. Now Jackson Martinez, who played that role fantastically well. They seem to have found a replacement, a good one.
Still only 25 years of age.
Tim, you know, they've not been the same since, have they?
No, not at all. He's back though this year, and if you actually look at what he's done, he's got a hat-trick. It was on the second day back for FC Porto this season. It's fought by Ndidi, looking to pick out Moses, and he just can't keep it in play.
They are looking for Moses Simon, but
he was
well. I think Serge Lecco has actually handled them well so far.
He was trying to make a breakthrough at Tottenham, did Moses Simon. Now here's Obi Mikel teeing it up for Victor Moses, and I thought for a moment then Obi Mikel might have had a go at goal himself.
Well, despite his free role for the national side, John, Obi Mikel still not confident enough on that left foot, really. Should have just shifted out a little bit and fired away. Abdicated responsibility, really. Moses wasn't in a bad position at all.
Best opening they've made, so created, really, so far.
Yeah, came to him pretty quickly as well. Wasn't a bad pass. Moses was just leaning backwards already. Just took his eye off the ball. It's a lovely piece of skill from Wilfred Ndidi. Just allow that little space to open up on the edge of the box. Yeah, 20 minutes played, nearly.
It's interesting, trying to get in the mind of the coaches to try and find out what the game plans were. We'll just wait and see what happens here as Abdullahi makes the interception. Bruce let it slip, really. He said a point out of this game today and 3 points on Monday. He'll suit us fine. Here goes Anguissa. Nobody with him, got to go on his own. Everything closed down. Liuko here. There'll be a free kick. Challenge on Nazi.
Put this simply, Tim, I think, you know, Cameroon dare not lose. Or can't afford to lose, and Nigeria dare not lose. That often leads to stalemates. Let's hope that's not the case. Neither goalkeeper will be tested so far.
Well, when you look back, they won that Nations Cup. They only scored 7 goals, and 6 forward players used. The defender ended up being their top scorer. So this never looked like being a game where there was going to be hatfuls of goals. That should be the keeper's ball on Doa. And back it comes to Onansi, lets it slip. This is Troost Ekong.
I'm not sure who that's to. Centre halves have not started well enough for me. So been anxious, you know, you've got players who with more ability, 5-10 yards in front of you. If you can't find them quickly enough, you start again back to the goalkeeper, playing 1 or 2 passes alongside you. Keen to impress, I can understand that. As I said, a little bit nervy at the moment, some players in green shirts.
Is buzzing around, looking to try and profit on any errors. Anguissa, he just stabbed it through. His contribution has been steadily growing in its influence on the game going forward for Cameroon. Marseille player who only made his debut in March against Tunisia. Scored against Australia in the Confederations Cup.
He was onside, he's unlucky there. Fisher's got that one wrong.
It's Trujdekong into Onatsi. Chile isn't an awful lot of movement. Looking to try and turn there as Igalo gets a free kick. And the first yellow card of the game will go to Nagadjui. He doesn't look very happy about it either.
And that yellow card will please Odion Igalo no end at all. He'll want to stick even closer now to the big defender.
Well, his attacking prowess cannot be understated. He looks to be the perfect all-round player. There's Nagadjui, who's currently with Slavia Prague. Obi Mikel is in there, Igalo is in there, Balogun is in there, also is Trujdekong, the big number 5 is there. You can see Balogun looking to try and slip away behind Abubakar, who's gone back there to do some defending. Didn't need a touch. Nigeria have the lead. No, they do not. I thought that got a touch off of someone on the way. Well, the flag goes up. Well, in need of an explanation is the captain.
You're saying that the ball wasn't touched, John Obi Mikel. This will tell us certainly whether it was offside or not. Well, certainly Igalo is offside. He certainly doesn't touch it.
Well, flag up and Igalo. Oh, said just a couple of seconds ago, is it potentially going to be a day when set plays could be the area Nigeria cause most threat? Two inexperienced goalkeepers here. Who is going to take advantage of one of them? Now, he's got to be very careful, Igalo. And Tekeu is going to get a yellow card. Is he here? Well, he is. So the two central defenders on yellow cards inside 25 minutes here. And that could really cause a couple of problems for the remaining part of the game. What do you think about the card?
It's expected, to be honest. You've just seen your central defensive teammate booked a couple of minutes ago, getting too close to Igalo, being rolled and then bringing him down, and now you clatter through the back of him. Even if you get some of the ball, it's got to be such a clean challenge to him before the referee's going to allow you to get away with that one. Igalo's a slippery customer. He can't turn you there and run towards goal. There's a couple of players in yellow shirts to cover for you.
Well, just a bit too much pace on the ball, but Nigeria having their best spell in this game. Big weekend of African action coming up for you, beginning obviously here today, but tomorrow at 9 p.m. Senegal against Burkina Faso, that live World Cup qualifier on BT Sport 1 HD live. Then you can see the return of this on Monday at 6 p.m. That's on BT Sport 2 HD. And then on Tuesday at 6:30, it's Ivory Coast against Gabon, live from 6:30 on 2 HD. And they often, we were talking about this before the kickoff, there's often lots of various criticism about administration and how they run things in Africa, but the way they set these qualifiers up is a thrilling climax. Only one qualifier, every game means something. Now, this is Abubakar threading it through Basagog, just unable to get there.
Yeah, as quick as he is, it's a little bit more central as well and invite the winger inside. Yeah, straightforward, isn't it? Everybody knows what they have to do as soon as the group is drawn. And this is a group of certain death, isn't it? Algeria, of course, who've performed well the last couple of seasons. Nigeria and Cameroon have, apart from this early on in this campaign, Cameroon winning the continental title, have fallen on hard times, if you like.
Moses, isn't it? Victor Moses, and he just couldn't make it loop over the keeper and drop. Applauds it, and they applaud him. Want to see a bit more of that. Basically, the message got a bit fortunate. First thing that Liuko has done wrong, really.
Yeah, it's a good ball from Moses Simon. He does well, actually, Victor Moses, to get a decent header onto that. Not noticed for his heading, but it's a decent attempt.
He too got on the score sheet in that friendly victory a couple of years ago against Cameroon. Moses Simon over the top. Igalo gives chase here. Has he got the strength? Yes, he has. Can he get a finish? Yes, he can. Nigeria lead. Indecision at the back for Cameroon, and it is pounced upon, and Ezemwa leads the celebrations at the other end, and the crowd erupt into noise and celebration. Good finish.
That's a super finish from Igalo, and it's been coming to him actually not because of the chances that Nigeria have created, because there's been virtually nothing. 2 attempts from Victor Moses in the last 5 minutes or so, but because of the 2 yellow cards, both enticed, both won actually by Odion Igalo, and the first opportunity actually after that, it's a lovely piece of skill in Jordan Mikel. He knows Igalo is going to be on his bike. Centre halves can't challenge. Gadri can't get too close to him. He's already been yellow carded. He can't afford to wrestle him to the ground. He probably would have done if he's not been booked a few minutes earlier. Here's a great strength I talked about from Igalo. The ability to roll defenders, better defenders than the Cameroonian. Batu has been yellow carded. He just said he didn't take his shirt off. It's a super finish across the goalkeeper.
Well, a bit silly, because he's put himself under a bit of pressure there now.
And some of the yellow cards for goal celebrations, I must admit, it's borderline. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, he didn't completely take his shirt off. We've seen players, you know, not even jumping into the crowd in some domestic football in the last week or so, been yellow carded and subsequently red carded. Let's take all the fun out of celebrating a goal, shall we?
Funny actually, I saw Alan Shearer erupting on Match of the Day a couple of weeks ago, the Manchester City Bournemouth game, after the late goal celebration. But Igalo, who's had one of those careers where at times he's felt as if he's been permanently on trial everywhere that he's gone. It's best remembered his time in Watford for that amazing second half performance in a 7-2 victory over Blackpool, where he got 4 goals in the second half. It was after they were trailing 2-0 at half-time in that game as well, but back in the goals, back in favour, and back in the limelight.
There's an agricultural clearance from Onazi, Eugenio Onazi. He's normally a guy who's so quick to put his foot on the ball and just try and calm proceedings down.
Now, at the other end, it's Mukanjo, who's had a very quiet game so far. 31 minutes in here. Nagamaleu trying to find a bit of space, and again is going in looking for Tekeu.
Nearly gone to the end of it. It's a good corner because it took out Igalo, who's defending just on the edge of that 6-yard box. that's the minimum required. Beat the first man.
Ogajri, again getting ready to make a move in toward that near post. The keeper right underneath it again manages to make a safe enough claim.
Well, that whistle's certainly not gone for a foul on the goalkeeper. Who knows what the referee saw?
Well, he captained Nigeria in the African Nations Championship squad that eliminated Benin recently to qualify for the finals in Kenya next year. Okay, again getting involved.
No need for Cameroon to panic. It's now an opportunity for Nigeria just to exercise a little bit more control over proceedings.
Well, he was asked the other day during the press conference, Obi Mikel, about, well, you've been to a couple of World Cups. Does it still do it for you? I'm always motivated. He said, doesn't matter how many times you've been to a World Cup, you still want to be at the next one.
Despite the glamour and glitz of the Champions League, I don't think there's any player really who doesn't want to go to a World Cup. Well, if you're a real professional.
Well, I'll tell you, didn't look too comfortable there. There's Anguissa. Ganja on the edge of the area. Abubakar dropping deep. The problem that they've got here, and we didn't see so much of this in the Nations Cup, they're not getting much width in their game, where they were literally rampaging down the flanks, whipping balls in. The Ganjo and Boubacar, whoever was playing, starting up front. Tambe was there. Zua was always a potential danger. That should be Ezen was, but today there hasn't been an awful lot to suggest that they've got what it takes to score goals here.
They've had some good running through the middle of the park, as you said, Tim. Not been much, if anything at all, bit of flanks. Abubakar's not had a decent service. He's somebody who loves to run onto things, and the Nigerian backline has actually dropped quite deep in the opening 15-20 minutes especially. That makes it difficult for him because he doesn't pick up too many balls and turn and run past one or two defenders.
Victor Moses.
And no reason, of course, at the moment, with Nigeria taking the lead, for them to now push up and squeeze the play, because they're quite athletic in the middle of the park at the line. So Nigeria in midfield, John Obi Mikel, who's a little bit further forward. Generally, probably not his responsibility, but Onazi and Ndidi in particular will have to track runners anytime there's anybody making that burst beyond them.
And you can see Leuko never needs more than one invitation to get forward.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Arthur Bocker.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ivorian international. Similar sort of stature, probably a little bit taller. Great coming forward, lovely technique, super strong on the ball. As strong as you are, somebody puts their body in front of you like that, as indeed he did, there's no way round.
10 minutes to go to half-time here in Uyo. Nigeria have this slender lead, looking to try and pick up Moses. Malcolm Moses get away here, open up the angle on the edge of the penalty area, he does. And Moses Simon is in there, brings a save, and a great save it was as well from Undoa. And that has just about kept Cameroon in the game. And look at him up quickly to celebrate and remonstrate as well in equal measure with his defenders.
Super play, Moses to Moses. Yeah, that's a great stop. Just had to almost check himself as well, did Moses Simon. The ball almost didn't sit nicely for him. Did it well, actually, to keep his eye on that. Yeah, that ball just bobbles up. That's well hit. No complaints at all in terms of the strike, and a brilliant save.
Victor Moses is going to swing it out here. Here comes that down. Moses Simon is back down there. Getting stuck in again is Igalo. Ziani. Little step over there by Nagamaleu. Started off brightly, had a couple of decent attempts, Nagamaleu, but he's faded a bit. There'll be no service to Abubakar in this game whatsoever. As soon as you say that one sails over his head, and that'll be guided back to Zenwa.
I don't think he's a forward who actually panics though, Tim. We've seen a lot of him in Portuguese football, haven't we, over the last couple of seasons. He's used to playing this lone striker role, and the older you get with that, the more you realise there are going to be long periods of frustration, or can be, in matches where you're not the dominant force. And just waiting for your chance is all part of the game.
And as if to underline that, the goal that he did get at the Nations Cup was 5 minutes before the end, that effectively won the Nations Cup for Cameroon.
And he remains strong and powerful towards the end of matches as well. Many question marks, if any at all, about his stamina. Yeah, robust challenge, wasn't it, from Gadjui.
Well, the referee has laid the law down early in this game, as they know what to expect, so already on a yellow card.
He'll get away with a few challenges like that because he's making an attempt to play the ball, but I have a feeling that he was looking to take out Igalo as well. But anything where he's isolated, he has to be very, very careful.
Chustekong has made a move forward for this. Indeed, he is at the back post here for Nigeria. And Victor Moses just couldn't bring it under control. Ziani there. It's Echejile. I think had to try and put some pressure on, but Nigeria do very well indeed there. And that's back to Abdullahi. And also getting back is Basagog. Well, they usually like to try and pick the coaches out at certain stages in games. We've not seen too much of Rua or his head coach, Salisu Yusuf. That's what they can point to, which is quite admirable, because not everybody, certainly on the African continent, does it. There is a tendency to employ in senior coaching positions players or ex-players of Nigerian origin or African origin. 20-odd coaches in charge since the turn of the century, and only 4 of them have been non-African. So in it goes by Ndidi Andoa. He doesn't inspire you with a huge amount of confidence at times, does he, Andoa?
Not overly, Tim, but he actually makes it quite easy for the players to interpret, because he comes for almost everything.
There they go again.
And stayed his ground this time. As a result of that, defenders, especially around him, will always be a little bit pessimistic, which a good defender should be anyway.
Abubakar's racing into the penalty area if there's a cross coming in. That was a very good challenge by Balogun. Brilliantly done, and the crowd rise to cheer that. As Obi Mikel turns beautifully, and Victor Moses is off on his way. Igalo is in there as well. Victor Moses has got to lay it off, and Moses really will be hoping now that doesn't come back to haunt him. That was the moment. What an opportunity, what an opening, but what an error.
Lovely play once again. John Obi Mikel turns his man and sets Victor Moses. That's the way he should have played it across. He just gives Big Adolfo took the opportunity to get back almost level with him, and then it's got to be an inch-perfect pass. It wasn't, and the ball was cut out. Early delivery to Igalo, and surely that would have been 2-0.
Well, Nigeria could quite easily be 3-0 up in this game if Moses Simon had scored as well. 3 great chances they've had here, and still just the 1 goal. It'll be Victor Moses. Igalo leaves it. Mikel's in there. Well, what they couldn't do the first time, they made sure they did the second. He's been the best player on the field in this first half, and he rounds off a great 45 minutes here with goal number 2, and he can rest easy for the moment. Right time, right place, and it could be the killer blow.
Well, no more than Nigeria deserved. This last 15 minutes has been exemplary. Great little piece of skill and awareness, unselfishness as well from Igalo. And many a forward would have tried to control that and maybe turn himself. John Obi Mikel, well, follows of Chelsea, will be wondering, is this the same man who played for us for so many years? I don't know, about maybe one in about 300 appearances it seemed. And a lovely finish, sliding, stretching to that ball and fires it past the goalkeeper, Fabrice Undoa.
They're loving every minute of it. One of their favourite sons, John Obi Mikel. And you go back in time, 2005, when Nigeria made it all the way to the final of the World Youth Cup, the Under-20 World Cup. He was voted then the second best player in the tournament. They got to the final, they lost against Argentina, and the only guy that performed better than him on that international stage was Lionel Messi. Victor Moses. Still going Moses somehow. And maybe some of the focus will not be attached to him, because you can imagine going in, if they'd have gone in at 1-0 up, he'd have had a bit of explaining to do.
Yeah, I think Rona would have been very disappointed if that margin was so slender. Who knows, it may well be. May well still be Cameroon on the attack. But in truth, so far, Tim, as we've discussed already, they've not shown enough in the final third. That great at home for that little bit of magic in the final third, from the flanks in particular, has come from the home side, Nigeria, so far.
Well, they had a fairly decent opening with Cameroon for about 7 or 8 minutes. You imagine there's a little bit of nerves about the place, but Nigeria have grown steadily into this game and have been the better team for the majority of this first half as we come into the final exchanges of the first half.
Well, quite simply, for me, the 3 most vaunted players for Nigeria have stood up absolutely big time and produced some brilliant moments. John Obi Mikel, Odion Igalo and Victor Moses.
Well, Hugo Bruce has got an awful lot of work to do to rally his beleaguered troops in this second half. And really, 2 attempts on goal, from both of them from Nagamaleu. Simply not good enough. There's Balogun, and that'll go back from Truce de Ekong.
He didn't actually play that ball after he's actually looked to see where Ranson Abubakar was. He's pushing it, isn't he?
He is.
Adolf Teku.
Mind you, he's got to be careful as well, isn't he? If the referee thinks that he might have been doing a bit of play acting, but certainly not in that instance. And again, that looked like it might have come off his hand then. Well, you look back, you talked about Obi Mikel and his time at Chelsea and the games he played. You look back, he won absolutely everything that there was to win, but you can't help wondering how different his career might have been had that transfer to Manchester United ever gone through. There we go, end of the first half. Thriller minute stuff if you're a Nigerian fan. 2-0 they lead. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll look over some of the key moments then of that first half. Welcome back live. We're in Uyo. Lots of joyous-looking Nigerian fans around the place because they lead 2-0. Tuesday evening, we have some of this. England's under-21s against Latvia's under-21s. That live from 7:30 p.m. on 1HD. Also available in 4K UHD. Let's have a look at the highlights then of the first half. Fair to say as well, Effin, that Cameroon didn't have a bad start. Looked to settle well early on.
Yes, not at all. Certainly the more positive of both sides. Just saw more of the ball. Gamaleo with a shot not too far over the goalkeeper. And indeed over the crossbar. Ikechiku Ezenwa.
And that came as well, just a second or so, when Balogun very nearly played in Abubakar. Here's the disallowed goal. Igalo was offside.
The system was clear about that, and it's only when we saw the replay that we were absolutely sure that was the case. Certainly doesn't get a touch onto it.
More chances with Moses. Got ahead there of Leuko. And Victor Moses, you can see, racing in to arrive at the back post. Should he have done better there?
I think a more accomplished header of the ball, maybe a bigger player, maybe would have been disappointed if he doesn't get that one on target, power it back across the goalkeeper. Just a looping header, indeed, over. Moses not noted for his goal scoring, not with the head anyway. Wasn't a bad attempt, I won't be overly critical.
And then here is the goal. Here's the best player of the first half, Obi Mikel, with that ball in. We knew it had already been yellow carded. Great strength shown there by Igalo.
Yeah, neither of the centre-half team actually wanted to really tackle him, did they? Teku or Ngadjui. They've both been yellow carded, a few minutes in between each other, after each other. And Igalo just muscles Ngadjui out the way. And as I said, he used his body really well. That's a great turn. Just that little touch. He's not too far wide of him onto his left foot and strikes it past the goalkeeper.
And then Moses picks up Moses with a beautiful ball. Give credit there to Ondoa.
Yeah, it's well hit. It's at a good height actually, but he's actually leaning towards his right, because most of the time you'd actually be looking to side foot, slide that one back across the goalkeeper, across the face. So great reactions to push it over the crossbar.
And in again, and this was the moment we thought that Igalo with his arm raised was going to set up for goal number 2. But again, I suppose give credit to Tekeu this time to get back there and slide in and make the interception.
Yeah, Moses gave him the opportunity. It was a well-timed slide, but from the resulting corner.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant that was. Anguissa got caught absolutely flat-footed and cold here.
Yeah, lovely little dummy at the near post from Magoli. He knows he really can't do anything special from there, and Mikel with a wonderful finish.
Good stuff. There we are then. Nigeria lead 2-0 at half-time. What's next for Cameroon? We'll find out very shortly. Don't go away, we'll take a short break. Welcome back then to Uyo. These are the scenes that greeted Nigeria as they left the field at half-time. 2 goals. That was Obi Mikel's goal. And a very, very happy man. Big question, I suppose, is going to be Effin, whether they make any changes. Now, tomorrow evening from 5:15, Tranmere Rovers against Dover Athletic. That's in the National League. It's still hard to think of Tranmere Rovers, isn't it, not being in any of the 4 professional divisions.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not getting too excited over though, Tim, as you are.
I remember Johnny King having them very close to getting promotion to the Premier League. Unbelievable. Anyway, not unbelievable here. There is a change that's been made. So that is Choupo-Moting. I'll wait and see who it is that is going to come off here, but they need more bite.
Gamaleo, I think, has been sacrificed.
So what type of response are we going to see from Cameroon? the African champions. Might be immediate here. There's a lot of space here. Where's Abdullahi? Seen Leko go on the overlap, and that is easy for Azenwa. Very, very brisk opening exchange there.
Yeah, sloppy start to the second half from Nigeria. Exactly what the coach would have been impressing upon his players at half-time. Guru, is that they need to be concentrated for the full 45 minutes, of course, but especially those opening, or the opening 10 or 15 minutes of the second half. This is when Cameroon will be fresh enough in their mind, especially to believe that they can get something and get back into the game.
So I was reading a piece with some of the multitudes of politicians that usually come out around these times in Nigeria, talking about trying to get on the back of the football team, and the chairman of the Senate Committee for Sport said there really is nothing about this Cameroon team. It isn't anything special. He's probably congratulated himself for his predictions at half-time, but 45 minutes to go. Igalo waiting inside the penalty area patiently as Onatsi swings one in.
Well, they are the defending champions of the continent, so they're a pretty good side. I like it when politicians stick to politics.
Yeah. Well, there's all sorts of subplots being played out in the press. You might remember Issa Ayatu still angry at his removal of as CAF president, and there was a feeling that he thought that Pani, the Nigerian FA president, played a key role in that as well. So there was another reason for them to get at here and do well today.
Yeah, the rivalry between Nigeria and Cameroon is sometimes a bitter one. It's a very intense one. It's a healthy and more respectful, more friendly rivalry between Nigeria and Ghana. No doubt about that. There's lots of connection between the two nations.
This is Siani right through the middle. That was a good piece of goalkeeping by Azenwa. May not have actually got hold of it right away, but he did enough to push it away. Is Anguissa, as Cameroon just turn up the heat a bit here. Lifted into Basagog, back where we thought he should have been starting the game. He certainly looks a lot more comfortable playing over on the right side than he does on the left.
Complacency can be such a dangerous thing. If Nigeria think this game is done and dusted, they could be in for a rude awakening. It's the kind of energy with which Cameroon started the first half.
Shot, good one. Good save too. That'll give him a load of confidence, that. And the player we said keep an eye out for, Anguissa, because he was very heavily involved in the opening exchanges, and again there.
That was a great strike, wasn't it? It was almost casual in the end. Yeah, it's all about the technique. Just a little bit of a touch as well off the backside of Wilfred Ndidi.
Oh, lovely bit of play. Oh, Basagog's already looked more threat in 2 minutes than he did in 45 in the first half. 19 is Vai. Again, as a player we were normally used to seeing playing over as a left full-back in the Nations Cup, and indeed in the Confederations Cup.
Strange, isn't it? Now some left footers feel more comfortable on the right wing than they are. I love that opportunity to be able to come inside and hit balls.
Yeah, they were talking about that actually pre-game. The Nigerians have only got one natural left-footed player in the team. This is Echejile. Chibamoti was going nowhere fast there. Referee telling him to get up as Balogun brings it out. Born in Berlin was Balogun, but his father was Nigerian. He had something of a memorable debut. He came on for Yobo and was injured after 20 minutes and fractured his foot, and he was out for months. but he's looking a bit more animated from the touchline than he was in the first half. There's Anguissa. Trying to get Faye in. Lovely body. Oh, what a good recovery. Balogun did well again then. Well, Nigeria inviting Cameroon to come onto them, and they're doing just that.
Not only that, Tim, but they're also allowing some of their teammates to almost defend one-on-one, and sometimes the cover in the box when that cross came in. Quite a few big gaps in between the green shirts.
Well, knows his way around the continent of Africa. He's been coaching nations since 2010s with Gabon and Niger and Burkina Faso before he came here, but he had an established record as a club coach as well, perhaps best known for his time with Bordeaux back in the 1990s. Worked with Zinedine Zidane then. Here's Igalo. Again, you can see the movement off the ball from Moses running into those spaces.
Yeah, there weren't too many options for him. He decided to go for the centre forward and then didn't stand and just admire the pass. When looking for support, he's a little bit lucky there.
Hard to believe that Bukanjo that we're seeing here is the same player we saw just a few months ago. Set plays are a worry, no mistake about that. It's Victor Moses over the ball. It's he and Ndidi just at the bottom of your picture. Also in there is Truchekong. Hondoa trying to organise what is in front of him. Ndidi making a move toward it, going toward the back post there, and he just couldn't make it there in time.
Just a little bit heavy with that free kick, Victor Moses. There's been good energy and urgency about the way Cameroon have started the second half, and we always talk about it, Tim. In domestic league matches, but it's even more difficult to do it when you're playing on the African continent because of the heat. It's not always visible to the viewers at home, but I can assure you when it's humid, subtropical, tropical climate, very difficult for you to maintain that tempo.
Well, the crowd loving this little bit of showboating here as Victor Moses just couldn't bring it out there. Chijile has to get back into position as Hondoa.
So on the back of that, it's important that Cameroon, if they don't necessarily score, that they create one or two opportunities. So when they do have a little bit of downtime, they'll know that, well, okay, when we come again with our period of domination.
Balogun is going to get there, but he's going to get there second to Balogun.
And better as the game has progressed, Balogun. I thought he had a shaky start alongside William Trustek on the two centre halves, so I wasn't too happy with the way they started the game, but he's grown into it.
Forward they troop again. Nagajri and Tekeu, the number 4 and 5 are the ones you want to keep an eye out for. Boubacar also in there, but again just lacks any threat from this set play. You got a better chance at it here, Basigor. That's a better looking ball in there then. It'll drop to Anguissa, who'll hit it if he gets a chance. Now they're going to open up play here. Nigeria can launch the counter-attack, and Victor Moses is away and running again. Now, where's he going to go with this? Moses has got Moses, and he's going to have to tee him back up on the edge of the area. He can get a shot in here, and there is a third, and that has got to be game over. Classic counter-attack from Nigeria. Victor Moses makes them pay. just when you thought that move might have been running out of steam, Moses picked his spot beautifully. Well, this is turning into a rout here.
Well, that's just sheer star quality. Tim, we actually didn't see it from the beginning of the move, right on the edge of the box. The weight of the pass from John Obi Mikel to set Victor Moses up and running. It was only a 2 or 3 yard pass. People will say, well, there's nothing special about that, but if he overhits that ball, Moses then has got to be at full stride to try and keep control. And if he underhits it, Moses has got to check himself. There's the end product. Once again, Moses to Moses, this time with the finish. Unerring accuracy across the face with the sparing hand of Fabrice Ondoa. That should be game over.
Well, this is beyond their wildest expectations here. Cameroon look a beaten unit here, unless there is some miraculous force majeure it'll probably take for this to turn around in their favour now. There's Obi Mikel's touch. Balogun. Well, there was a bit of doom and gloom around the place coming into this game, but said, look, you know, the team against South Africa, forget about that. It wasn't the first choice team, nothing like it. The big names are back, and what a difference they have made. It's funny, isn't it? The big names are back, every one of them scored.
Yes, they've been the game breakers so far today. Choupo-Moting has gone down. He's only just entered the field of play.
Well, this really has been, I don't know about you, but this has been a real surprise to me how poorly Cameroon have played here today. After seeing pretty much all of that joyous run through to the final of the African Cup of Nations just 6-7 months ago. Now, let's point you in the direction of more football action that is coming your way, because Senegal against Burkina Faso, that is tomorrow night from 9 p.m, BT Sport 1 HD, and then you see the return of this on Monday, Cameroon against Nigeria from 6 p.m, that's BT Sport 2 HD, and then the following day it's Ivory Coast in action against Gabon from 6:30 on 2 HD. Oh, we just run through the goals again, and why not?
He's able to control that ball as he's falling away, slipping actually, losing contact with the ground, solid contact anyway. Slot it past the goalkeeper.
And we're going to get another change here. So Choupo-Moting lasts just seconds. And Djoum is in. Well, they were looking for a little more bite, a little more killer instinct. They tried to inject it now. It's been somewhat nullified.
Well, it breaks your spirit when you are on top in a match and the opposition go down the other end and score on the counter-attack like that. I said, even if you don't get the goal yourself, it just gives you a little bit of hope once again that you've stretched your opponent defence. Okay, the goalkeeper made 1 or 2 good saves, you're a little bit unlucky or sloppy with your finishing. But for you to be in charge of the game is stretched it a little bit, as I said, but feeling good about yourself despite the fact you're 2 goals down, and then the old sucker punch on the counter. That will draw, I think, almost the remaining steam out of this Cameroonian side tonight.
Well, although it's never nice to miss a major finals, and not being in the Nations Cup last time around was something of a bitter pill. The run they've had in the World Cup has been exceptional, really, over recent years. They've missed only 1 since 1994. Again, those early days, that first appearance back in 1995. We'll just see who's coming on here. Inacho's coming in.
Yeah, if this is a hamstring problem for Igalo, then there's absolutely no need to take chances. However slight the injury may be, if he's able to run it off, if it's cramp, who knows? Not with another big game again on Monday.
I need a laugh and smile about Inacho into the game. Well, September's been a good month for him, actually, in recent years. This time last year, he scored 4 goals in 4 individual games, Nations Cup, Champions League, Premier League. So Igalo goes off. Great return, though, for him. He was out of contention for a while. International career looked as if it was on the wane. But he's back with purpose and he's back with a bang. And what a time to regenerate your international career in the year of a World Cup.
Yeah, it's not qualifying for the Nations Cup. It hurt the Nigerian pride, no doubt about that. The whole nation was disappointed with the way that qualifying campaign went. But you know, these could be good for you actually, just to reset. You know, there's a feeling of arrogance when you're one of the top footballer nations, that almost as if you've got a divine right to get there, and it's a reminder that you have to work for it. Lots of the smaller countries in Africa right now are getting themselves together in the footballing sense. And for Cameroon, actually, Tim, things have changed now. But they had a couple of very mediocre seasons. They win the Cup of Nations as not one of the favourites at all, and all of a sudden now the nation is expecting them to come to places like Nigeria and win matches, which they've done so before, but it's by no means an easy task. So for them to feel like they could probably just waltz up here and not lose and play an inferior Nigerian side, surely they were mistaken, and that's proven to be the case so far.
Absolutely, and it's worth pointing out again, those of you that don't know, that the Cameroon FA has had huge problems in recent months, and their FA has actually been taken over and is being run independently away from them. So there are significant problems that they are having to overcome at the moment, and you never know, these things do trickle down at some point.
Well,
FIFA's
certainly one like that. They don't like any interference with football associations.
Siani looked like a good run, just as he looked as if he was cocked and loaded to shoot this. And Ondoa's position does like to play on the edge of his own penalty area. Got to be careful, especially the speed which Nigeria have turned defence into attack in this game.
Inacho doesn't quite have the speed, the strength, or indeed that.
Oh, trying to catch out is Zenwa. Well, Faye's suddenly coming much more into the game than he was in the first half.
Actually retreating back towards his own goal is Zenwa when he deals with this ball. Inacho will still get opportunities with the 2 full-backs for Cameroon, Leko in particular in the first half, and Collins fine the right-hand side. He spent a lot of time going, moving forward, exposing the 2 centre-halves. Igalo was able to exploit it with his nous and experience. Inacho is quite that seasoned in terms of knowing how to expose defenders on field, so he'll want he'll probably need a little bit more time to work things out.
Well, there's some real carnival football going on out here. You can hear the reaction of the supporters here. Looking to make this 3 victories from 3. Nigeria. 9 points. Cameroon would be 7 points behind with 3 games left to play after today. One of them the return on Monday. In Iheanacho, starting to chase here. They've got to watch the bounce of the ball, and he's going to be penalised here. Deku getting the decision. He had a nightmare start to the season. Scored an own goal inside 5 minutes against Chartres at the weekend and got sent off 6 minutes later. In fact, 2 of their back 4 have already been red carded this season, because Faye was also sent off on match day 2 in Belgium this year. Makes very good reading if you are a Nigerian fan. There was Ndidi, but was a little bit high by Anguissa. Ndidi. Here's Balogun. Ejigide.
Not seen much of him in an attacking capacity today, Elton Ejigile. It's one of the rampaging fullbacks on the continent. Quite a disciplined role. Indeed, the back 4 has actually played pretty well so far this evening, and I stress so far because things can change very, very quickly.
He will be as desperate as anybody, perhaps even a bit more so. Ejigide. He missed the last World Cup. He was going to be part of the squad, but he got injured in a warm-up against Greece. This is Iheanacho. Is he going to do something spectacular? Here's Moses here. Can he bet one in? And he very nearly does. He sought the keeper under off his line, and he tried to curl it into the top left-hand corner.
There's a smart attempt once he comes inside. Surprised that Iheanacho didn't make a move for goal himself. Pull the trigger, 3-0 up, a striker coming on. Expecting him to be a little bit selfish. Not the only option really for Moses. Wasn't too far away.
This is Agu. And it is Mikel who is going to come off. And he'll get a grand reception as he does so. He was head and shoulders above everybody else in that first half.
Yeah, fine performance once again from the captain.
So Agu into the game.
It's valuable game time as well for these fringe players. I won't call them fringe players. And when it really is a squad game, more and more as the game becomes more and more athletic. So Debussy Agu will enjoy these 20 minutes. That's quite a nice chunk for him to play towards the end of the game.
Fought by Siani, but again, almost half-hearted. Abdullahi. Bit of a heavy touch. Is going to be a yellow card, perhaps, or perhaps not. Referee feeling a bit of empathy. Well, he has soaked up all of the adulation in the early months of this year, Bruce, former Anderlecht and Brugge. Legend certainly as a player, and indeed as a coach.
The success brings added pressure. This is what this group of Cameroon players now has to deal with. And they find it more and more difficult over the next few months, indeed leading up to the next Cup of Nations.
It's a great story, though, wasn't it? That he saw the job advertised online and decided to have a go. Probably sent a a rather extensive DVD or Blu-ray or whatever of his significant achievements.
They made the right choice.
Certainly did. He was in the team that beat West Ham in the Cup Winners' Cup final back in 1976, and also played against Liverpool in 78. Back in the days when the Cup Winners' Cup was one of the European competitions we used to see being played every year. There is the man looking to guide Nigeria into another World Cup finals. They've left so many indelible memories down the years. I talked about something before the start of play. I think Sunday Elise's goal against Spain was still one of my
1998
standout games there. But how close they came in '94 to putting Italy out before Baggio got on the score sheet. There's De Jong's ball. And De Jong again. Abubakar, you can see, still working, trying to find space, trying to make himself available if anything comes his way. And for a player who's in the form that he's in this season, a real disappointment for him that he's not been able to test any of these defenders, as that sails miles over the top.
As I said earlier, Tim, he's a guy who thrives on balls that he can actually run onto, something to really get his teeth into.
Absolutely.
He's back to goal and turning people or making great runs across the face, people in the box. I've seen him score 1 or 2 goals like that, but it's not really his forte. As a result, he needs this Cameroonian side. You see their fans are pretty much flat at the moment, and Nigerian fans are just taking a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
seems ready for the celebrations
yeah,
at
I was
the
going
end.
to say, I mentioned that to you earlier on. The stadium was opened here today from 11 a.m. in the morning. So it's been pretty much a party that has been in progress since lunchtime here. Moses with his arm raised, Inacho through the centre. He's up there pretty much on his own. Here's Moses again. Inacho. And again, maybe the quality of the surface they're playing on there just maybe let him down a bit, the bobble of the ball.
Yeah, I think the players have done pretty well, considering how much the pitch is cut up from the opening minutes, really. Really test your skill level, your technique. Not quite sure whether it's going to run true to you. Victor Moses was just looking a little bit tired there as he tries to flick that ball back to Iheanacho.
Moses getting ready to deliver again. Tristekong is there again, making a dart towards the near post. Behind him is Agu, aiming it in there to Ndidi's head. A sudden rush of blood to the head. Would have been difficult, would have been some goal if he'd done it then, Balogun. There's Nagadri. Then easy enough for Tristekong. It was on the books of Spurs not that long ago, Tristekong, but before he could get involved with the first teams or second teams, was shipped out to Groningen. just playing out time a little bit here. Now Inacio, something to run onto. Angle's a little bit tight for him. Here's Victor Moses here. Moses thought he might have gone for that himself instead of trying to pick out Ndidi. There is all sorts of space opening up for Nigeria to attack into.
Yes, I'm sure they would love a fourth goal, but I think much more importantly, they need to be focused on a clean sheet. Not easy, of course, when you see the gaps opening up. There's one or two fresh players on the field who want to make an impact. And get just a little bit carried away and lose some of your discipline.
There's Moses, crowd enjoying that moment again. Onatsi, Moses Simon is up. So too is Inacio. It's got to be a good delivery. It is Inacio, makes it 4-0. Well, this really is turning into a crushing defeat here now for Cameroon. And I think since 1968, this is certainly the heaviest defeat they've ever had. Did well to steer that into the net, Inacio, but great ball delivered to him. Well, they can't believe their luck and good fortune. This has been so much easier than he could possibly have expected it to be.
Yes, he would have dreamed of a result like this. Be absolutely delighted, Gernaroo, that his team have been able to perform in such a fashion. Picking holes in his Cameroonian defence. The longer the game has gone on, that's a super ball from Inazi. The near post, really. Gadju probably should have. Well, it's a difficult cross to deal with. You know, you actually get a touch on that flies in past your own goalkeeper. And then actually just has to keep his eye on the ball and make it 4.
6 goals in 10 starts for Nigeria, and I told you that he liked September. This September starting as well as last year's did. He can afford a smile in Zenwa. Well, it was 3-0 last time these two met in 2015 in that friendly. This, the heaviest defeat, certainly going back to December of 1968. This is the 21st meeting since 1960. Cameroon had only ever won 4, and 3 of those were in Nations Cups. As Moses has been enjoying himself down there. Yeah, 10 years ago, actually 2007, Moses was the top scorer for England in the Under-17 World Cup.
You're not going to say what happened to him, are you, think? He's done pretty well since then, hasn't he?
He's done pretty amazingly since then, actually.
He has a real air of confidence about him when he pulls on the green shirt of Nigeria. It didn't come to him initially when he first started playing for Nigeria in the last 2 seasons, however. He believes that he's one of the real stars of the team, and he's proved it tonight that he is. Some great performances over the last couple of campaigns. It's not really a time for showboating. I know the fans want it. They love to see a few little tricks. They want to marvel at the player's ability to do those kind of things. But Cameroon players will be wounded. So 1 or 2 pretty hefty challenges may be coming their way. And remember that you have to go to Yaoundé in a couple of days' time.
Are you surprised that Manchester City let Iheanacho go? It was always going to be tough to get into the starting lineup, but did he deserve more chances than he had?
Well, I'm a great believer in Tim in that you get chances not only on match day, you get chances every single day in training, and if you're not able to show the coaching staff enough of what they require as a footballer, and it's actually pretty respectful of them when they tell you nice and early when you arrive at a football club that, look, you're not in my plans, if things change, you know, but at the moment you're not, and I'm looking to bring 1 or 2 players in. Inacio was probably told, I would imagine, very early on that Aguero was the main man. Gabriel Jesus, who's come in and done well, not started the season particularly well, the young Brazilian. Look, he has scored if I'm correct. So Inacio would have known that his chances would be limited this term. They've got lots of good wide players who can come in field and maybe occupy 1 or 2 of those advantage positions. They've bought some more players, of course. They were trying to buy Alexis Sanchez.
But don't you get more confidence from actually playing games and score? I mean, he scored, what, a dozen goals in 45, 46 games this year. But don't you actually develop when you play?
Yes, you do. But as I said, you know, it's the opportunities to shine are not only on match day, they're on training day. And Guardiola's, I think, is quite straight with footballers. Joe Hart knew as soon as he arrived that he wasn't a fancy goalkeeper. Was told that, was allowed to go out on loan to Torino last season. You know, I would think a player would rather, you know, that be the case than being told, well, maybe you're number 1, you play 1 in 15 games. That shows that you're actually nowhere near being my number 1 choice, especially for a goalkeeper. Inacio, I think, has done the right thing, taking the opportunity to go to Leicester. He should get more opportunities there. It won't be easy to play in that side either. We've got some good forwards there. Okazaki is the number 2 striker, you would imagine, to Jamie Vardy. So it'll be tough for him there, but as I said, slightly better or more opportunities.
10 minutes to go then here. And it is job done. Job very, very well done by Nigeria.
Ahmed Musa about to enter the fray. Victor Moses probably needs protecting, I feel, his last 9 minutes plus injury time.
Should be the keepers, drops it. First significant error from Zenwa, and it very nearly served up a bit of a gift, as we do get that change, and it is indeed Victor Moses who goes off. Well, like Eddie Mikel, the big names returning have more than delivered here tonight, and you can hear from the reception he's getting as he leaves the field here. It's a job very well done indeed. Huge cheers for Victor Moses, the player that they all wanted to see back in the green shirt.
He has capped off a fine performance, as indeed the other 2 stars of the team have before they departed themselves. Mikel and Igalo, a goal apiece.
Well, Ahmed Musa, first Nigerian player to score more than 1 goal in a FIFA World Cup game, got 2 against Argentina.
I was at that game, was working that game. I had the privilege to watch that game. Messi actually didn't play well. He scored a wonderful goal to get Argentina the points, but he was. It's not often you say, well, almost never said it. He was second best to Musa, but surprise, surprise, who got the Man of the Match award?
It's through to Zema. Well, it's such a massive confidence booster for the goalkeeper here, Zema. They've had all manner of problems in the goalkeeper position. Ikeme has been suffering with acute leukemia. Those of you who don't know, the players all appeared in training a couple of days ago wearing T-shirts with Ikeme's face all over it. He is in recovery. I've just seen some pictures of him on Twitter yesterday, smiling away. But it's been a tough 45 minutes. There's Musa.
Yeah, best wishes go to Ikeme, of course.
Nice turn. Looking to get the shot in there. There's Inacio.
It's still a decent squad, a strong one actually, when everybody's fit for Nigeria.
Moses Seaman teeing it up. Musa's in there. But this time they get crowded out. And Bazagov might be able to bring it down under control. He does. Abubakar is up there. Mukanjo is coming up there as well. They've got plenty forward in the attack if they can get the ball in. And again, what a great interception by Ejijile. There's going to be another change here.
He wanted a foul, Balogun. He felt that he was impeded as he dived forward a little bit recklessly, actually, to try and win the ball inside the Cameroonian half.
Zona for Basagog.
He's looked one of the brightest players, hasn't he, Christian Basagog, before he was replaced, and I don't think that's anything to do with his performance, actually. Just giving him a few minutes rest ahead of what will be an extremely tough task to try and reverse this scoreline on Monday evening.
And again, they've gone deep. They were causing plenty of panic in the early stages of this game with their corner kicks, which Nagadjui and Teku were attacking full on. Not been able to replicate it at all. Zona there, that's going to be a corner kick. Well, they're all up there. Sansujudo lingers right in the area. It was aimed towards him, it dropped right in front of him, but again it was Nagadjui who was the closest to putting it in the back of the net. Well, it's surely going to take something incredible to derail the charge towards World Cup qualification now for Nigeria.
Well, after this victory, Tim, I think they can really only beat themselves. Even if they were to lose in Yaoundé in a couple of days' time, they'll still have a little bit of a lead in the group.
Well, one of the newspapers was quoted as saying that if they were to get these two victories that they craved, beginning with one here today, they'd have to play the game of their lives. And they've done pretty much that in this game here. As you said, historically, there hasn't been, in 40, 50 odd years, such a one-sided victory as this in these two nations have met. Referee's done a good job here, by the way, as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he exercises control authority over the match early on. Didn't flash any yellow cards unnecessarily. They weren't. In fact, it's been quite a clean game. And these matches actually pretty often are, despite the healthy and sometimes intense rivalry. Played in a good spirit.
Echejile.
I think the two yellows actually for both central defenders for Cameroon were justified, and in a way, Tim, they were actually the turning point, because he just gave Igala just a little bit more freedom, just to use his body cleverly, as I said he would, and was able to muscle the two of them, manoeuvre them out of the way for the first goal. And in truth, Nigeria has not looked back since then.
There's Agu.
So well won free kicks. He got both of the centre-halves yellow carded, and then he took the opportunity when they were weakened to open the scoring.
Ndidi.
And when we don't talk about the referee throughout the game, he's actually done a good job.
Nacho's in again at the near post. Good defending by Teku. Looked really lively since he's come on. There's Onatsi. Nobody in the penalty area, but corner is conceded. Well, last chance maybe for Cameroon here to give themselves just a shot of confidence. I said it was always going to be, and it always has been this year, a struggle for goals. He knew that before they even turned up here today. And again, they're not going to try and pick at Nagajwi. Three additional minutes of play here. This is Olinga.
It's such a difficult game for Cameroon now, back on home soil in a few days' time.
There's no time to recover, is there? Absolutely none. It's how difficult is it going to be for them to actually exercise this from their minds?
I would say it's impossible unless they can reverse the scoreline. You know, if they beat Nigeria handsomely, 4-5-0, which is possible. It would be extremely surprising if that would be the scoreline.
Well, they've experienced real extremes of emotion over the last 6 months of Cameroon.
You know, they now have to play with a certain level of ferocity, which they probably won't like playing at. It makes some of their play, you'd imagine, will make their play a little bit anxious. And against the good side like Nigeria, very good on the counter-attack today. I don't think particularly the way that Roy would have set out his side today, just to sit back and soak up pressure, because they haven't really done that. They've just picked Cameroon off, who've not been able to match the skill and the power of Nigeria through the middle of the park. And if your big players don't play, your important players don't stand there well. Makanjo's been quiet. Boubacar's not had much service. He's not been able to get himself involved in the game. Sometimes as a striker you need to go looking for work, maybe outside your zone if you like, just to actually get a few more touches into.
And let's not forget the mood of the nation, the mood of the crowd. You know, maybe it might not be the sellout that they expect it to be. Maybe people will just be now put off and think that, right, you know, it's over here. We're not going to qualify for the World Cup. 7 points is too much of a gap. Yeah, Nigeria aren't going to blow up this stage. We'll just stay away.
Yeah, that could certainly happen. Of course, you know, the players will sense that as soon as they arrive at the stadium. The press reports that they'll read over the next couple of days would not be nice when they get home.
Final few seconds then here. Time maybe for one last attack, perhaps, as Onazi. No, that is it. And the crowd rise to applaud this Nigerian team here today. Totally destroyed Cameroon, 4-0, and there's no gloss on that either. Goals from Igalo, from Obi Mikel, from Moses and Iheanacho. The big names that were absent for the recent losses against South Africa, perhaps most importantly at all, they're all back here today and they've all performed to their potential and they deserve to win.
Absolutely, there can be no complaints about the result from the Cameroonian side of things. Outplayed, outmaneuvered. In the final third, Nigeria had all the answers. Cameroon weren't able to breach the Nigeria defence. In truth, Ikechukwu Ezenwa didn't have too many difficult saves to make. And all to play for on Monday. Nigeria will firmly believe that they are in the driving seat for Russia 2018.
Coming up next, let's look at the goals then, if you've just come in late, and see how Nigeria beat Cameroon today. Fabulous ball from Obi Mikel and a great finish.
Yeah, it was measured, isn't he? He sees Igalo out there, probably miles to more than the corner of his eye. It's perfectly waited for him. Two centre-halves can't really get too close, they do. And Igalo is able to run away from them and muscle them out of the way. It's a great finish in the end because he's falling, he loses his right foot, but steers it home.
2-0, what a great goal that was. Again, just left the defender, who was Anguissa, for dead.
It's a striker's goal, Tim. Anticipating, hoping that that ball is going to come beyond the front man. Once Igalo moves so far beyond the post, it was always going to happen.
And the third goal coming just here on the counter-attack. You can see It'll be Moses and Moses involved again here. And you just felt at one stage here the move was beginning to actually run out of steam just there.
As he checks back, but you know, the weight of the pass back to him, actually, to Victor Moses, is absolutely perfect, isn't it? He can decide to blast this ball, he can decide to guide it with a little bit of power, which he does. Moses always bending away from the goalkeeper.
But to hit that as true as he did on a pitch which is as variable as this, takes some skill.
Yeah, good plays, Tim. They'll find a way to get the job done, won't they, when things are not absolutely right for them. No excuses.
Moses involved again, teeing it out up for the cross and the goal from Ihinacha.
Yeah, it looks an easy finish, but in the end, as I said during the game, Tim, he's just got to make sure that he's fully concentrated. It's easy for you just to take your eye off the ball, probably expecting the defender or indeed the goalkeeper to get a touch on this. There we go. He almost hits him in the end. He really doesn't power his head toward. He doesn't need to. Just a little bit of a twist and guide it into the empty net.
There it is, and that is how the table looks tonight. Makes great reading. 3 from 3. Cameroon, are they down and out? Well, they need something on Monday, that is for sure. Well, the Champions League magazine is up next, but here, well, it was Mr. Obina Ogba who said that there really isn't anything special about Cameroon whatsoever. Looks like he was right. Hope you've enjoyed it. From F and Koku, from me, Tim Cable. Till next time, bye-bye.